Buying homeschool curriculum, especially if you're buying for multiple children, can get really pricey really fast. So today we're going to be talking about where to find inexpensive curriculum and books and resources. So stay tuned right after this. Hey there, my name is Melissa Branham and I am the mom of the WanderStruck crew. And our channel is all about helping homeschoolers to feel encouraged, inspired, and equipped to teach their kids in home educating. We have benefited from the blessings of educating our children for 11 years, and we don't want anybody else to miss the opportunity to do it because they were too afraid or just didn't feel like they knew where to start. So that's where we come in. We're here to help you. Today, we're talking specifically about where to find curriculums for low cost or inexpensive curriculums. We talked last about where to find free curriculums, and you can find that right here. But today, if you have maybe your heart set on something, or you kind of have an idea in mind, or maybe you just want to find some new books to add to your library, we're going to talk about where to do that, and not on Amazon. No offense, Amazon definitely has its place in the marketplace, but over time it's become a little saturated, and there's some other really great places to start looking. So first up, let's talk about Homeschool used books. If you've never heard of this one, it's going to be a game changer for you. Homeschool used books, you can search by category, you can search by a particular brand, and it's other homeschool families just like you that are selling their curriculum and looking for a new home for it, and homeschoolers just like you that are looking to buy curriculum and save themselves some money. So I don't know what else to tell you other than to check it out, because it is amazing. I found books that were more than half price on it if I was to go and to buy it new. If you don't mind something that's a little loved, you can get it for even cheaper. But I don't care if it's a little loved. I'm going to use it, and then I don't have to worry about breaking it in because it's already broken in. So it's called Homeschool Used Books. It's basically an online marketplace for homeschoolers and homeschool curriculum. Next up is Libraries of Hope. And Libraries of Hope is the home of the well-educated heart. And it is a collection of beautiful books that have been scanned and preserved and saved on their site. And so you're able to access old books and resources that I wouldn't know how else to go to unless you went to a specialty library, how to access them unless you went to a specialty library. But they are beautiful what they offer. And I love reading old books. I love reading old history books, especially because I feel like it hasn't, like the information hasn't been tainted by modern influences. And so I feel like it really just sticks to what the information is that I'm trying to read about and learn about. And there are so many stories that have been lost or are no longer in print that just have a beautiful moral message to them. So I strongly suggest you check it out. Now, you can't buy the books. They are only available online, but I mention it because it's really such a beautiful collection that when I came across the website and I found it, or somebody I'm sure turned me onto it, I just felt like I had struck a gold mine of just beautiful, rich literature. And I really encourage you to just spend some time diving into it and exploring to see what they have, because I love it. But if an actual paper book that you can hold in your hand is more your style and what you're looking for, I have a lot of recommendations for you. First is bookfinder.com. Now, bookfinder.com is kind of like your Travelocity or your Expedia, but for books. So if you're looking for a particular book, you type it into Bookfinder, and then Bookfinder will pull up a whole listing of the price of that book on different sites for the new price, and then a whole list of the used price for that book. And it lists it out for different sites that it finds it on, including Amazon, but also you can find Thrift Books and Secondhand Sale and Abe Books, and it will compare the prices for you. And when you click on the one that you want, it takes you right to that website and allows you to purchase directly from that website. So you're not buying through a third party. Bookfinder just does the searching for you. Now, the plus side is you have this huge resource of all these different books and without having to search each site independently. The downside is it doesn't have all used book sites on there. So like I said, it does have Second Sale on there, and it has Aid Books, which are great sites to check out as well for used books. But it doesn't have Thrift Books, if you are familiar with Thrift Books, and it does not have Paperback Swap. So I'll come back to those, but it does have a variety of others and ones that I had not even heard of until I used Bookfinder. And actually, it was recommended to me by one of the biggest used bookstores in the country. That's what they use to look for used books. So they look for books for themselves, and they also look for books for their customers using that site. So it's very widely utilized and a great resource. There's also Thrift Books, and I use Thrift Books a lot. They have an app on my phone, or they have an app you can download for your phone, and I have it on my phone. And that's your account, and you can log in, you can look for used books, and they also give rewards back for like every so much you spend, you get a free book. So that's kind of nice too. Their prices tend to be very competitive, and they also have where you can build a wish list, and that's the thing I love. So within my account, I've created a wish list of the different books that I'm looking for or that I want. And when that book becomes available, they'll notify me and I can get online and I can purchase it. The downside is I'm pretty sure that they notify everybody who has that on their wish list. So if you're not the first person on there, then somebody else can buy it out from underneath you. So that's a bummer. You got to be kind of quick with the trigger finger. But I do like that there are times that I've been able to purchase books that I'm not in a hurry to get, but at some point I'd like to get it for a decent price, and it pops up and lets me know, and I'm able to purchase it for a good price. I also really like it because it lets you choose the quality of the book you want. So it lets you choose, do you want hardback? Do you want softback? Do you want library binding? And then also, do you want it in very good condition? Do you want it in good condition? Do you want it in acceptable condition? And so you can decide what works for you based on your price point. Most of the time, the price difference is not substantial enough that it's worth getting a lower grade book, because usually the price difference is within $1 to get like a good book to a very good book. But sometimes it's not, and it lets you easily compare the prices right there from your screen. It's just as easy to use on the computer as it is on your phone. But let's be real, all of us always have our phones with us, and so it makes it easy for me to look something up. Or if somebody recommends a book to me, I can get right on there and add that item to my wish list, and I don't have to worry that I'm going to forget that book down the line. Another great company is called Paperback Swap. And Paperback Swap is a really clever idea. Think like a book exchange. When you sell a book, you pay the shipping to send that book to that person, and in exchange you get a credit on Paperback Swap, and then with your credit you can buy a book and you get a book sent to you. It didn't cost you anything to buy that book, but it did cost you to mail a book to somebody else. It's a very clever idea. And you can also purchase credits. If you don't have a book you want to sell, you can purchase credits, and they have like a different subscription plan that you can upgrade to. They offer being able to do the same thing with movies and doing the same thing with CDs and DVDs and audiobooks. So they have a very extensive library that you can search from. Technically, it's not their library. You're just searching the listings of other people, but it's a very clever concept of you give something to someone else and then you get something back in return, and all it costs you is the shipping, hence the swap part. So Paperback Swap, Thrift Books, and Bookfinder are great. Secondhand Sale and Aid Books are very popular sites to look for used books, and they're great as well. I just usually don't go directly to those sites because Bookfinder has those within their search criteria or within their search engine. So if I look on Bookfinder, those come up along with Amazon and different Goodwill sites will come up as well. So Bookfinder is usually my primary go-to if I'm looking within the scope of second sale and books and so forth. Now, my last suggestion is probably going to be pretty basic to you, but thrift stores are my favorite when it comes to used books. And not all thrift stores are created the same. In my hometown, we have a thrift store that has the entire second story, or the entire second floor, is all books. And I thought, oh, I'm so excited. And I went up there and I started looking and I was like, what is this? What are these books? I don't like these books. They were not of quality reading material. They just kind of felt like those books that were like from second-rate authors that didn't really have a good value or message to the books and good content to them. And if you've ever listened to Andrew Pudewa from the Institute for Excellence of Writing, he talks about the value of a child reading a good book and how it's really more important for them to read a book with good content and good value than it is for them to read. And so I was really disappointed. But when we travel, one of my favorite things to do is hit up thrift stores along the way, because I feel like if I'm always hitting up my same thrift store, it's not as much turnover. But when I'm on the road, you better believe I'm hitting up Goodwills and thrift stores between point A and point B to see what they have. And if you ever visit a thrift store behind me, you are welcome, because I am that person that goes through and organizes the books. I just can't help it. I put all the American Girl books together and all of the Magic Tree House books together and all the Chronicles of Narnia together, and I can't help myself. But thrift stores tend to have such a great selection of books, and I can sometimes find ones that are just hard to find, and I just happen to find it. Or certain thrift stores will have like a certain color that's on sale. You know, like everything with the blue tag is on sale today. And so I'll score books for like 10 cents. And so in that case, I usually end up buying books that I already have. But for 10 cents, I give them away because they're good books and you should have them too. And they'll help you to grow your library. And that just makes me happy. So everybody having good books just makes me happy. And I hope that you can find some good books from the different websites that I suggested. If you have a good book or a good source or resource that you find good books at, let me know, because I'm always on the hunt for finding great resources for finding books. So put them in the comments. If I left you in with any questions, make sure you let me know. I make it a point to answer every question, and I will see you next time.